On that evening, when I returned from work, my home was engulfed in silence. Only the whispers of dark stillness murmured in the corners. Yet something, undefined and mysterious, lingered in the air, as if a fleeting ghost. I lived alone in this house, yet it felt as if the presence of several souls enveloped it, like an invisible veil. I dispelled my doubts and headed to the living room, wanting to relax in front of the television for a while. The glow of the screen played carelessly on the wall, but along with it, like a shadow, crept the feeling that someone or something was watching me from the darkness. My heart beat faster, as if calling me to the mysteries hidden within this house. But I boldly approached the television, sat in the armchair, and turned it on, immersing myself in the world of images and sounds. Yet in the silence of the night, a ring echoed, piercing my consciousness like a wedge. I jumped up from the chair, turning to the dark hallway, but nothing was visible. Footsteps, barely audible, approached the living room. I shuddered, frozen, trying to penetrate the darkness that engulfed my senses. And then, from the shadows, emerged a stranger. He was tall and dark. His gaze roamed the room, as if searching for something that belonged to him. I stood up, as if subdued by invisible threads, and asked who he was and what he was doing in my house. The stranger smiled, but his smile seemed dark and ominous, as if shadows from the deepest abysses of hell had burst into the world of the dead.
"I have come for what belongs to me."
His voice sounded like a whisper of darkness itself.
"You have taken what is not yours, and now you must pay."
I looked at him in astonishment, not understanding what he meant. But then, like a curse, memories flooded into my mind, surfacing from the depths of my memory. Yes, I had taken something from an old box in the attic, but it was just an old ring, covered in dust and forgotten by time. The stranger approached me, his eyes gleaming with dark passion, as if a thirst for blood awakened in him. He reached out, demanding his due. I, stunned, not knowing what to do, suddenly realized that the darkness that hid in his heart was ready to engulf me too. But at that moment, as if from the depths of my soul, a spark of courage ignited. I stepped back, recoiling from him, as if from poison that sought to penetrate my being. "I don't know what you are, but I won't give up this ring," I shouted, feeling a surge of strength emanating from me, as if an ancient spirit awakened within me. The stranger screamed in pain, his form disappearing into the darkness as if it had never existed. I stood alone in the living room, feeling my heart beat in unison with the dark night. And when morning awakened the world, I surveyed my home as if after a turbulent dream. Everything was in its place, but I knew that on this night, I had encountered forces that belonged to another world, a world where shadow and light intertwined in an eternal dance. But I was stronger, for inside me burned a fire that illuminated the path through the darkness, like a torch in the night.